Welcome all of you in online teaching learning process. We have completed unit number 2, metal ligand bonding in transition metal complexes, and from today we will start unit number 3, metals, semiconductors and superconductors, which is from paper number 9, inorganic chemistry. The unit number 3, that is metals, semiconductors and superconductors, contains, that is first one, that is introductory part. The point number 2, that is properties of metallic solids. Then it contains theories of bonding in metal. There are two theories, free electron theory and molecular orbital theory, that is band theory. Then next we will see classification of solids as conductor, insulator and semiconductor on the basis of band theory. Then we will see semiconductors, their types, intrinsic, extrinsic and applications of semiconductors. Then lastly we will see superconductors, that is ceramic superconductor, their preparation, structure and mix oxide YBA2Cu3O7- as a superconductor. And last point is applications of superconductor. So these are the contents of unit 3. Then we will start this one, that is a introduction and properties of metallic solids. First we will see some introductory part about the solids and their properties. Then what is solid? What is the solid material? That is, first we will see definition. Solids are characterized by incompressibility. This is the most important property, that is solids are incompressible. Rigidity and mechanical strength, that is solid possess these properties: incompressibility, highly rigid and highly mechanical strength. The atom molecules or ions in solids are very closely packed and they are held together by very strong force and cannot move at randomly it cannot be moved, that is they are closely packed to each other. Thus in solids there is a well ordered arrangement of atoms, ions and molecules. Then next we will see types of solids, that is basically there are three types of solids, it is a crystalline solid, amorphous solid and polycrystalline or microcrystalline solids. That is basically solids are classified into mainly two categories, that is a crystalline solid and amorphous solid. The example of amorphous solids are glass, rubber, these are the amorphous solids. But in case of crystalline solids it have different classifications, that is ionic crystals. For example, NaCl and KCl crystals are ionic crystals, which are the type of crystalline solid which looks like crystal. Then covalent crystals, example diamond, silica. Then molecular crystals, naphthalene, anthracene, glucose. Then next example, metallic crystals, that is all metallic elements, that is sodium, magnesium, copper, gold, silver. Then atomic solids, that is frozen elements of group 18. Group 18 means inert gas elements. These are the atomic solids. So this is about the crystalline solids. Then we will highlight, that is types of solids mainly consist of two types. Crystalline solid, these are the shapes of crystalline solids. Highly compact solid, that is highly regular arrangement of their components, specific shape and size. But in case of amorphous solid, considerable disorder in their structure, there is no specific arrangement of atoms. So this is a disordered and this is a order. So this is the main difference between crystalline solids and amorphous solids. Further we highlight what are the crystalline solids, that is ionic crystals, for example NaCl. Then molecular crystals which contains hydrogen bonding. Then covalent crystals like this. Then metallic crystals, metals which is surrounded by sea of electrons or metals are bonded together by very strong bonded metallic crystals. So this is about the crystalline solids. Further we will see what is a metallic solids. That is, metals are not covalently bonded, but the attraction between atoms are too strong to be as like van der Waals forces. So there is, in case of metals, there is a strong attraction between the atoms, and in metals valence electrons are delocalized throughout the solid. That is, each and every metal is surrounded by valence electrons, and these valence electrons are movable or delocalized from this metal to this metal, this metal to this metal, as like this circular path or complete this path. So they are delocalized throughout the solid crystal. So in case of metallic crystal, the lattice points occupied by metal atoms, that is, each corner occupied by metals, they are held together by metallic bonds. Then they are soft to hard, low to high melting points. They are good conductor of heat and electricity, some of the properties. So in the case of metal or metallic bonding, nucleus and inner shell electron, and that is positively charged ions, are surrounded by sea of electrons. So this is the metal or free electrons in metal. Next we will see some properties of metallic solids. Then first property is a crystal structure. What is a crystal structure? First we will see definition. Metallic solids have regular ordered arrangement of constituent atoms. This crystalline framework is called crystal structure. That is, they are having regular and ordered arrangement of constituent atoms. That is, very specific arrangement of constituent atom takes place there. So in case of crystal structure, common metallic crystal structures are, that is a BCC, body centered cubic, in which central metal ion is surrounded by 8 metals. So this is the BCC arrangement, body centered cubic. Then FCC, face centered cubic arrangement. In this case, the metal ions appears at the corners of the cube and also at the face centered of the cube. And hexagonal close pack as like hexagon. This is a hexagonal close packed arrangement, HCP. So these are the common structures of crystal structures, that is BCC, FCC and HCP. Then next property, that is metallic solid, shows electrical and thermal conductivity. So metals are good conductor of electricity and heat due to the presence of free electrons. These free electrons can conduct electricity and heat through the metal. So free electrons are responsible to show good electrical and thermal conductivity in the metals. So in the case of metallic crystal, that is, they are good conductor of heat and electricity. So electrons are mobile in nature and can transmit energy quickly. So electrons are responsible to show this type of property. So this is the heat conductivity or thermal conductivity, which is carried out by the moving electrons, and electrical conductivity is also carried out by moving electrons. So electrons are responsible to show this property. Then next property, metallic solids shows lustrous property. Metallic luster. Luster means shiny nature. So metals are lustrous in nature. When light falls on metal surface, the free electrons at surface absorb light and get excited. So these electrons emit light radiations and come back to ground state. So due to this, metallic substances show lustrous property. So these are the examples of lustrous property. So this is a metallic luster. Some shows dull nature, some shows shiny nature, pearly nature, vitreous nature. Then metallic luster as like this. So shiny appearance of metal is called as metallic luster. Then we will see that metallic solids, that is metallic solids have certain properties. Due to these, due to the presence of free mobile electrons. That is, metals are malleable in nature. Malleable means when it is hammered, it is converted into thin sheets. Then it shows ductility, means drawn into wire. Then good conductor of heat and electricity. Then it is lustrous in nature. Then they are generally hard. They are having high melting point and boiling point. These are the some properties of metallic solids. Then we will see one by one in details. That is, what is malleability and ductility. Malleability is the ability to be compressed, and it is then characterized as the material's ability to form a sheet when rolled. That is, metals are converted into thin sheets by hammering. So this is the malleable in nature. And ductility is the ability to be stretched. So it is often characterized the material's ability to be pulled into wire. So it is converted into wire and thin sheets. So this is the malleability and ductility property of the metallic solids. So in case of ductility or malleability means metal hammered into thin sheets. When gold is hammered, we are getting thin sheets. So gold is the most malleable metal as compared to all metals. So in case of malleability, that is the property of a substance that describe its ability to bend or hammered into thin sheets without breaking. Metals are converted into thin sheets. So these are the examples: the aluminum foil, copper foil. So these are the examples of malleability. So aluminum is very malleable, and that is why we use it to make foil to wrap our food material. And other substances like glass are not malleable because it would break instead of changes shape. Wood is also not malleable. Wood material is not malleable. We cannot convert into thin sheets, while copper is a malleable in nature. So copper foils are also used, or copper rings are also used. So these are the malleable metals as like aluminum and copper. Next we will see what are the properties of metallic solids. That is, good conductor of heat and electricity due to high density and presence of mobile electrons which can transmit energy quickly. Then it shows high melting point and boiling point due to strong metallic bonding. As another property, they are not soluble in any solvent, and the strength of metallic bond varies, and so consequently the melting and boiling points of different metals varies. That is, on the nature of bonding between the metals, their melting point and boiling points will be varied. Then metals are having high density because atoms are usually packed together as closely as possible. They are very closely packed, and most metals have high density because there is a little empty space between the closely packed atoms. So this is the 3D arrangement of atoms in a typical metal, and this is a simplified diagram of metal structure. That is, atoms are packed together very closely, so they are having high density. Then we will summarize another properties, that is density. As they are closely packed in small volume, so they possess high density. Next property, they show alloy formation. Most of the metals can form alloys. Then another property, elasticity. Metals have high elasticity, that is, it can stand for high stress. Then emissivity. When metals are heated to high temperature, they emit electrons called thermionic emissions. So it shows emissivity property. And last one is a sonority property. Sonority means metals are sonorous in nature, that is, they produce a specific type of sound when struck with any hard object. That is, it impacted with any hard object, it shows any specific type of sound. So it is a sonorous in nature. So this is about all about the solids and their properties. So thank you all of you for listening this video.